Chapter 230. Looks like has a little arrogant. Golden core. Fell-eating sword cultivator exclaimed and could not help but tremble. A terrifying pressure spread in all directions. Sanshi was like a sun or a volcano, emitting endless explosive power that made them feel like they could turn into ashes at any moment. None of them moved forward. If not for the fact that the main force was here, they would have turned around and fled. Come on. What are you waiting for? Sanshi was surrounded by golden flames as he calmly looked down at all the Zenith Heaven guards. If you guys don't want to fight, I'll do it. Sanshi subconsciously wanted to use the dragon subduing palm. But considering his current status, he ultimately changed his palm technique and chose the Iron Sand palm. Stop! With a delicate shout. Clang! There was a sound of sword. The white sword G-soared into the sky and cut open the red sandstorm, shooting out a phantom image. This person was dressed in white and was extremely beautiful. Her entire body was spotless. Her long dress swayed, and her black hair fluttered in the wind. Her slender figure stood on a sword, and her aura was ethereal and otherworldly, carrying a heroic and fierce aura. Sanshi's gaze shifted slightly. He did not expect to meet an old acquaintance here. Chen Yiling, the genius woman with the sword body spiritual conduit had obtained the recognition of a spirit sword in the ruins in the center of the Thousand Poisons mountain range. Her cultivation level was already at the late-stage foundation establishment realm. With the spirit sword, even someone who had just entered the golden core realm might not be a match for this woman. She could be considered a natural cultivation genius. Her cultivation level has increased so quickly, as expected of a genius. Sanshi sensed Chen Yiling's cultivation level and was shocked. In a year, she had advanced from the Qi refinement realm to the late-stage foundation establishment realm. It was simply terrifying. It was only slightly inferior to him. It's the effect of the spiritual sword, coupled with her sword body spiritual conduit. Increasing her strength is as easy as eating and drinking. It's happening every moment. Sanshi thought to himself. He was not afraid. He teased, "Little beauty, do you want me to stop? Or do you want them to stop? I told them to stop. There's no need to lose their lives for nothing. Senior is too strong. Even I don't have the confidence." Chen Yiling's voice was crisp as she smiled generously. She sized up Sanshi, and there was a hint of surprise in her sharp and bright eyes. Why did she have a strange feeling about this man? This feeling only existed when she was with that person. Her gaze landed on Sanshi's dharmic powers. "Senior, you cultivate the pure yang true fire. It seems to be even more powerful. It looks like your nomological power is deep." Oh no, even true fire was recognized. Could it be that my alias has been exposed? Sanshi lamented in his heart. He could disguise himself, but he could not disguise his nomological powers. If he did not use his 9 non-nomological powers, he could only use the demonic blood transformation technique. However, since he was now known by the blood-robed old ghost in Great Jin, it would be easier for him to be exposed. His expression didn't change. "Little beauty, you have good taste." Cultivators could achieve the title of true human at the Golden Core Martial King level when the power they cultivate condense their essence into a pill and turn illusion into reality. According to the different cultivation stats, the power of turning illusion into reality was different. Fire elemental cultivators could naturally condense true fire. Water elemental cultivators could condense true water. The other true wood, true earth, true gold, true thunder, and so on were similar. For example, he had a metal stat spiritual root. If he was willing, he could also condense true gold. In fact, his current body was comparable to a real Vajra made of gold. If he took another step forward, he would naturally be like a numinous artifact, elevating his true fire to spiritual fire, immortal fire, divine fire, and other higher-level powers. The pure Yan true fire is a top-notch true fire. In the sacred fire sect, only core disciples and sect masters can condense it. "Senior, I wonder who you are so that we can get to know each other," Chen Yiling said neither humbly nor arrogantly. Sanshi pursed his lips. Damn it, this was too much of a coincidence. He cultivated fire attribute power and so did the sacred fire sect. This made it even more difficult for him to clear up the misunderstanding. It seemed that if he really had to keep up his act with multiple identities in the future, He also had to think of a way to hide his nomological powers. He started to plan in his heart and was not polite. He said coldly, "Are you here to kill me too? You're still not strong enough. If we don't try, how will we know how strong Senior is?" Chen Yiling's hair danced in the wind as the sword aura on her body grew stronger and stronger. She actually dared to attack Sanshi. Courageous. Sanshi chuckled and glanced at the sandstorm. A dilapidated mountain appeared faintly, and the smell of blood flowed out. From the innermost position, he sensed a powerful aura that was already paying attention to him. "Do you have anything to rely on?" Sanshi looked at the high-spirited Chen Yiling. This girl seemed to be a little arrogant after obtaining the spiritual sword. Clang! Chen Yiling suddenly became agile. Her entire body shone with a pure white light as the metal sword essence filled her body. Her entire body fused with the spiritual sword and transformed into an even larger white sword that stabbed at Sanshi. This strike was clean and straightforward, carrying an indomitable sword intent that could shatter everything. It seemed that no matter what was in front of him, she could break it with a single strike. Sanshi watched calmly. He did not take out his numinous artifacts or use any divine towers. He simply raised his hand. Boss. The golden light was bedazzling. Dense runes crawled around Sanshi's body. His hand turned into a diamond and grabbed the tip of the sword. Clang! It was as if a sword had stabbed into the golden bell shield. A metallic sound reverberated as the impact-type sword she was blocked by the diamond spirit body. It looked sharp, but it could not advance an inch. Chen Yiling's figure appeared amidst the sword chi. She put her hands together and held her longsword, using all her strength to attack. Seeing Sanshi catch her strongest spiritual sword with his bare hands, her beautiful eyes widened in disbelief. The spiritual sword is very sharp, but its master's strength is still a little lacking. Otherwise, I wouldn't be safe to catch it with my bare hands. Sanshi grinned. His current physique was already powerful enough to clash with numinous artifact. There was no need for him to use other weapons to deal with a late-stage foundation establishment. Cultivator. Yiling, retreat. A reminder came from the ground. Chen Yiling came back to her senses. She knew that she was no match for this person and wanted to retreat. "It's too late. I only took your sword with my bare hands because I was waiting for you to throw yourself at me." Sanshi's gaze was deep. He grabbed the spiritual sword and pulled it with all his might. Chen Yiling fell into his arms uncontrollably. Chen Yiling realized that she could not use her sword anymore. In her panic, she hurriedly slapped out with her palm, but it was blocked by a circle of golden light. The recoil numbed her arm. Sanshi pointed backhand easily broke through her protective sword essence. A wisp of scorching nomological power surged in and ran amok in her body, quickly scattering her quintessential essence. Chen Yiling was shocked. She grunted and realized that she could not use much strength. It was too late for her to retreat. An arm suddenly grabbed her arm and pulled her in front of Sanshi. Sanshi's fingers moved, and the runes outlined a translucent talisman that landed on Chen Yiling's body. Seal. Her true essence and even her spiritual sword were temporarily sealed, and she could not move. "Let go." Clang! A heaven-reaching sword beam slashed over. Sanshi had already expected this. He struck out with his other hand, and with a boom, he was forced back dozens of feet by the sword beam.